Hey guys, I can't get the theme to play. I don't know why it's doing that.
Something's wrong.
Oh well.
No.
Welcome to Finding Your Music Mojo live stream. I'm TC Kirkham, Kirkham Report.
And I am Dawn with Two Hip Chicks, and this is the fun of going live. Sometimes
Yes, it is. I'll have to
stuff
figure
just
out what
don't
happened
work
there
right.
for 2 weeks from now. So how y'all doing?
When stuff don't go right, it messes everybody up. People are like, no, doing good. How about you, buddy? What's up? What's happening?
Not too bad. How was your 4th of July? Did you enjoy
It was
it?
noisy.
Yeah.
Noisy. Thank you for asking. But other than that, it's always noisy because there's always a fireworks tent, at least within a 1 mile radius. There's at least 4 of them.
Yeah.
So just the way it works in Michigan for some reason.
Are they legal in Michigan?
They're somewhat legal in Michigan. They let you have a tent up, but they're also legal just across the border. So even if you couldn't buy them in Michigan, in December, you could still just run across the border and get them. So
yeah, people do that here. They're illegal in Massachusetts, but they go to New Hampshire and Rhode Island and buy them. So, oh well. Anyway, this is supposed to be about music, and we hope that we'll talk about anything we got going when it comes to music. So please. Drop us a line in the chat and we will continue to go forward from there. You were asking me about the chart stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what do you want to know?
Well, I'd said something to the effect of my brain doesn't work that way. So it just fascinates me to no end when someone can say, or pull up the information that, that this was charted on such and such a day and it hit number whatever and it debuted at number whatever and it came in at and it reached this on this chart and then it went over here to this chart and I'm like, number one, how do you know all that? Number two, my brain just doesn't work that way. So it's like math, I guess. Some people just can't grasp math. 2 + 2 is a struggle. This is my struggle. I'm just
I started getting into the charts when I was 7. When I discovered American Top 40. And that's when I started paying attention to pop music and the charts. And then I found out in the 70s there were books about the charts. And so I've been getting those ever since. I have a large library of the record research collection from the late Joel Whitburn and others for other charts around the world. And I use those for research and for fun. And you know how Scotty is in his technical manuals on Star Trek. That's what these books are for me.
That's a lot right there. Okay, I get it. All right. So,
some of them even have the whole charts, like this one. This is every chart that hit the Billboard Hot 100 chart from the 2000s, and I have the one from the 90s also. I gotta get the 70s and 80s yet.
The 2010s. I mean, how long does that run?
It goes from January 1st, 2000 to December 31st, 2009.
Hey, Jennifer, how you doing? Jennifer just popped in. Mary's here. I don't usually say hi to my wife when she's in the chat until somebody else comes in, so I don't look like a
no, we said hi to Mary beforehand.
Yeah, MK.
Hey, Jennifer, welcome. MKG, hi.
Welcome. We were just talking about the charts and how TC knows so much. It's read. Thanks for coming in. Talk to you later. Bye. Yeah.
I've been reading the all the music magazines since I was a kid too. I started reading. Everybody always drove people crazy in school because I knew the lyrics to everything because I bought this magazine called Song Hits. Do you remember Song Hits? All the lyrics from all the popular songs, and it's like.
No, I went to the school of misheard lyrics, where I just.
Oh, you're part of. Excuse me as I kiss this guy.
Yeah, excuse me as I kiss this guy. Hold me closer, Tony Danza. And then there's a bathroom on the right. That's my favorite one too. So yeah.
Do you
I'm that girl.
Yeah.
This is what the internet's for now, which is so much help.
Oh, I know. It's so much easier to find lyrics on the internet. Of course, you get stuck when you like I've said on my show over the years. I had I had a big love for beautiful music, so you don't have the lyrics for stuff like that. And the kids look at you like, "What are you listening to that stuff? It's elevator music." Well, Okay. And yes, MKT, I did. I listened to Casey Kasem every week. And then I listened to him twice a week. Actually, both shows twice a week when Casey got his own show called Casey's Top 40, and Shadow Stevens took over American Top 40, and the same station ran them at different ends of the day. One at 9 a.m. and one at 7 p.m. So I was listening to both of them.
Shadow Stevens, yeah.
Shadow Stevens, American Top 40. I have some of his CDs of that.
Where does Rick Dees fall into this? Because he popped in shortly after Disco Duck, right?
Yeah, Rick Dees weekly Top 40. I have a few of those too. I collect radio transcriptions too, so I have a lot of those. Some of those I don't have the money to buy all of them because they usually run like 150 for one set. But it's like I've picked up a few here and there of different radio shows, and yeah, there was those three, and there was Dick Clark's National Music Survey, and the Great American Radio Show with Mike Harrison, which was a countdown of the top 20 album-oriented rock tracks of the week that lasted for 2 years, and Music Scene USA with Wink Martindale, which was on in 75 and 76, which counted up Billboard's easy listening hits.
Wow.
So
Monroe's Treasure said that she had a friend who would write them down in a notebook every week.
I did too. I did that too. Every week.
Is this a long lost reunion? You two know each other?
I would sit there and write down all of the top 40 songs just so I'd have them. Now I don't need to. I have the books.
Angry Otter. Here. Yeah, the books help.
Yeah, well,
a little more legit. You just don't have to go swiping through your notebooks, but I bet you still kept those, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have all the ones from the American Top 40, but I have almost all of mine.
Yeah.
Because I made up my own charts for 17 years.
That's another thing that blows me away. Like,
why?
You really love this stuff. So you went as far as creating your own chart.
Believe it or not, there are hundreds of people that do that every week.
Really?
There's a couple of sites out there that have links to these, just hundreds of sites where people make up their own charts every week. I did it from 78 to 93, and then I just couldn't. When I moved up here, I couldn't keep it up, and then I did it again for discjockey.com. I was doing their charts for the 2.5 years I worked there, and then I tried it again in 2010 and 2018, and I both times it didn't even last a year. I didn't have the time to do it. So, but it's coming back eventually.
Your charts are based on what? Just your preferences, or is it
a little bit of everything?
Because
I don't base it on sales. No, it's
playtime, right?
It's what I'm listening to, what I like. A little bit of influence by radio, but you look at my charts, especially when we start getting into the late 80s and early 90s. You look at my charts; they're going to vary considerably from Billboard. So, but there's I came up with my own format. It's now what I used to call New American Contemporary is now pretty much what Hot AC is, which is a mix of a little bit of everything, and that's what I was doing. So
hot AC.
Yeah.
Hot adult contemporary.
Yep.
Cute. Okay, I get that. Nice. Well, it used to be. They call it easy listening too sometimes.
Well, easy listening now means Sears music. Well, I'm saying
Barry Manilow is not easy listening.
Barry Manilow would be considered in the radio world. Barry Manilow would be considered appropriate for adult contemporary, or what they call light adult contemporary. Extremely light FM is what we used to call it. Awfully light FM, and yeah, but he would be fine in that, and so would the Carpenters, and a lot of acts like that would fit into it fine.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Manilow and the Carpenters were all over the top 40 in their heyday. Right. Top 40 radio wouldn't touch them today.
No, probably not.
I mean, top 40 is not what it was when I was growing up. It was just, I mean, as things have evolved and everything, it's just.
I think there was more of a separate. I mean, it was more like, for me anyway, top 40 was more adult contemporary pop, some R&B, and then you get over into the hard rock or album oriented rock channels.
Yeah.
So those, and then country, but
that's my charts right there.
There you go.
Say number one according to who? I say me.
I guess, and that's fine, right? There's no. I always wondered how they I mean, were they based on record sales? They usually tell you, they say like it's based on the amount of sales and the playtime, airtime, or whatever. But
Yeah.
they don't really do that now. Radio stations program differently now.
Radio stations program. You're funny. I mean, when
know.
you consider that every top 40 station in America owned by iHeartRadio
Mhm.
uses the same programming,
Yeah.
you don't have the diversity that you had in the
True.
60s and 70s, especially when I listened to when I was a kid, and I've told this story on the site before.
Everybody, take a look. TC just got 2 inches taller because he's up on his soapbox and he's here we go.
Oh, now you're as bad as Kim. Thank you so much.
No, but it's true. You've got a point, but this is a hot button, I'm sure.
When I was a kid and I was listening to the local station where I lived at the time, Newark, Ohio, the local station was WCLT. They were a variety station,
right?
Which means they played everything.
Okay.
So you would hear in the summer of 72 or 73, it would not be unusual to hear The Joker by Steve Miller, Heartbeat It's a Love Beat by the DeFranco Family, and Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group back to back to back.
Yeah.
Which is like what my late boss and dear friend Rich Chadwick used to call train wreck programming because the songs have nothing in common.
No, they didn't. But people were requesting them, so they would play them.
Right, exactly.
That's why they were being played.
I mean, they weren't really top 40. There was a top 40 in town, and it actually took requests and was a lot more top 40 centric than WCLT was. So, but it was just one of those days. Now everything sounds so pre-programmed, and I mean, up here, our local iHeart is Kiss FM, Kiss 108, and I mean, there are times you hear the same song 7 times in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ridiculous.
That's what they call high rotation. That's called high rotation.
Well, even high rotation in the 70s meant once every 90 minutes, not what the hell?
Weird. It is weird. But
and the last good bastion of top 40 style radio died last year, Radio Disney. Radio Disney, for all their goofy stuff, had a great format that played off good pop stuff, requests. Very rarely played the song more than once or twice in a 2 or 3 hour period.
I wouldn't have even thought of that.
I never listened. I happened to find them by accident when I was working with Transworld, listening at night, and I couldn't find anything. And I'm like, wow, this is actually fairly good top 40. So even though that was more kid skewed, they were still playing pop songs that had any kind of innuendo edited out, special versions made, but it was a great, and it was closest thing to old style top 40 you could find, and it died last year officially. So
Stacey May said people could actually sing then. Now it's auto-tune. Actually, a lot of it is the fact that your face sells more of your music than your actual voice does.
Yeah, TikTok.
It's true, that Milli Vanilli whole thing. Good-looking guys singing music from people that were actually lip-syncing music from people who didn't look that good. But,
you'd be surprised how accurate that is. People can actually do that if they want to. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a number of online services that allow you to do your own radio stations. I did it for years.
That is cool.
Live 365, and I haven't done it recently because it's just getting too expensive.
There's not enough hours in the day either.
No.
To program a radio station and get other things done, because it is work.
Yeah, it is. It can be.
A tape. Although a lot of it now is automated anyway with radio stations.
We have a guy here in Boston that runs a small station. Actually, he operates it out of his home in Maine, and casts it to Boston and 2 or 3 other cities. It's called
station?
Yeah, it's AM. They have a repeater on a couple of FM channels, but it is an AM station, and it's known as the Memories Station. And I mean, he runs this thing from morning till night. It goes off the air at 9 p.m. Starts at 6 in the morning.
Does he have a web presence though? Is he on?
He has a Facebook. He doesn't have a website.
So he's not live streaming over the internet.
Sorry?
Is he live streaming over the internet?
No, that's what sucks because I can't pick him up here at the apartment. I can only hear him when I'm out and about, and because the signal doesn't come that far. Yeah. But he would play I mean, I heard stuff on that station I hadn't heard in years. So it was like, you were driving along in the cab and all of a sudden the happiest girl in the whole USA, Donna Fargo, starts playing. I'm like, what the hell are you listening to?
Yeah.
So I discovered this guy.
I love that song.
Yeah.
That's a music play. The millennials charting Kate Bush because Stranger Things would disagree with you. Yeah. That's the thing, though. Yeah, it's like you pull it back in. Things come back into favor because of exposure. I think I'm just tickled to death for Kate Bush, truthfully.
Actually, let me address that. Rob made a good point here. Music isn't important to kids these days in 22. There's so many other distractions. And Angry Otter replied with the Kate Bush remark.
Right.
And yet, isn't the Kate Bush success direct responsible from seeing it in Stranger Things? So it isn't so much the music as much as they like it. It's that they like Stranger Things and they like the song. But
and it was,
I don't know. It all correlates anymore.
And it was remixed. It was redone for the show. I mean, it was different. It was totally remixed. And of course, it was timed for the scene they shot. And there were sound effects in there. So, yeah, it does have a different impact than the original song did when it came out. But, yeah, I guess part of it would be because they were really watching Stranger Things. And it just kind of grabbed their attention.
Yeah. The same thing happened with the kids who went nuts over Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Sweet a few years ago because of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mary, for bringing that up. That's a good point.
Yeah. And cassettes became everybody went crazy about cassettes again, cassette players, Walkmans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a place for everything.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. So vinyl's back. Who thought that would happen?
I heard.
It took off. So
I heard. It's amazing. I might have to get me some. For sure. Yeah.
Sarcasm duly noted.
Thick, dripping sarcasm.
Dripping sarcasm duly noted. Right.
I was reading the chat here real quick. There's a movie about a famous disco guy in Italy that sang songs, but the lip singers would be sexy Italian guys. Really? That's really close to. Really
yeah,
close to
Rob, I couldn't agree more. I was a big radio fan, and it's just today's radio does absolutely nothing for me.
Car noise. I mean, it's noise for your car, so you have something to listen to, but that's about it.
Even today's radio, like I said a little bit ago, I was actually Ubering back and forth from one place to another, and the Uber driver had a song come on the radio, and this was probably 2018, I guess, 2019, when Maren Morris's The Middle was out, and it was playing all the time, and it would play on one station, and he would turn it to another station, and within 5 minutes, there it would be again, turn it to another station, there it would be again. You can't get away from the same 8 to 10 songs. They just play them over and over again. And that makes me crazy with radio. That's why I don't like today's radio anymore.
And it's the fault of the, conglomerates buying them and
absolutely
programming them. Because if you truly had an independent radio station in your area that played what they wanted to play or what you wanted to hear, then it would be a lot more relevant, I think.
Yeah. That's kind of like ours. There's a station on the Cape that plays, I can't remember which station it is because I listen to it when I'm down there, but they play the hits that you haven't heard forever from the 70s and 80s, like Strange Way by Firefall was on there one day, and Love and Touch and Squeezing by Journey. And I'm like, oh, I like this station. Can we keep this? Because this is actually a good station. I actually have it programmed on my tuned in so I can
That's cool.
Get to it.
When we travel, we usually bring our own mix of things. Or we'll bring our own CDs, or I'll bring an MP3, a drive that we can stick in the car, or stuff on my phone.
Yeah.
Rarely do we find a radio station. Once in a great while, we'll hit a station that sounds good, and it's too bad you're losing it after an hour or whatever. But
see, I love the convenience of Spotify is cool, and being able to put together great CDs or whatever with mixes, but I miss that old time radio.
Yeah.
The really cool jocks talk like this. It's 15 minutes past the hour. We're going to play this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I miss that. That's something that the today's kids, now you have these laid back jocks who come in with 8 songs followed by 12 minutes in a row of commercials. And then, it's just nuts.
Yeah, I agree. So 80s radio became, yeah.
Well, no, you want,
I hear you.
I can go better than that.
Mm.
Kim had an absolute conniption fit the day Extremes More Than Words aired on our classic rock station.
Really?
That was a hit when she was a teenager.
More Than Words, yeah.
And Nirvana is on classic rock now. And I'm like, oh, that's just scary.
Oldies. They're oldies.
They're oldies.
So are we.
Yeah,
here we go. Yeah.
This is what, I mean, I used to look down my nose at oldies that my mom liked from the 50s. And like I said in the Carpenters special, when Yesterday Once More was out, and all these old songs kept hitting the charts, and I was like, well, wow, those are old. And my mom just had a fit. She wasn't even 40 yet.
Don't call it old. Don't call it old.
And now I hear stuff that I love, and I'm thinking, yeah, God, that's going to turn 50 this year. Okay.
Yeah, just shoot me now.
Yeah.
Take me out. Let the wolves eat me. I'm done.
Well, the scary thing is, it really blows your mind that the stuff that you love, the stuff that I love, that we grew up with. Dexy's Midnight Runners. Come on, Eileen. 40 years old next year.
Oy. Oy vey. Wow.
And Kim, as Kim would be like, why are you bringing that up? I don't want to know that. I don't need to know that.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that. Thank you. And everybody will talk to you later. Bye. You're out of here.
It's just, today's kids are going to be the same way. Oh, okay. So MKT is obviously in K Earth. That's San Francisco or Los Angeles. I don't remember which one. Because I'm looking at all the good ones are on K Earth here. That's what and now they're an oldie station. Because I used to see their thing when I was ordering jingles for discjockey.com.
Yeah. I mean, there's no safe haven, right? So you said iHeart owns everything, or it has been said.
iHeart and Cumulus and a few other ones. There's like 5 of them. They
program the oldies channels. They program the light year channels. They program the rock channels. They program the pop channels. They program the country channels.
Yeah.
Right? So which talent, I mean, how does talent win out over money and programming?
Yeah.
How does a new artist get discovered and then get money invested by the man to become popular? So it's a tough road, man.
It is.
I like what you're doing when you on your weeklies you show artists you should get to know.
Artists you should know, yeah.
Yeah.
See, these are things I would have been programming if I were back in disc jockey. I would have been all over Daddy Frere. He is just amazing.
And I've checked out the ones you've pulled up, that you offer up, and I'm like, yeah, good voice, good music.
A name right now that I love that is not doing anything airplay wise, and he's not selling as well as some of his contemporaries, is Benicio Bryant. This kid blew me away when he was on America's Got Talent 3 years ago. And now he's out there doing these great dance songs and no airplay at all. And you'd think they would be all over him because that's the kind of songs that are on the radio, I mean.
So yeah, and it's like America's Got Talent and The Voice, somewhat, but even those are limited.
Yeah. Rob, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, appreciate it.
Take care.
I imagine it's 11:30 your time.
Ouch. That would hurt.
Because he's in England.
Oh yeah. Ouch. Well, sleep well.
That's nuts. Yeah, I mean, today I really don't know. A lot of the artists are being discovered through TikTok and through SoundCloud and those, and it's great. But I mean, this is why I keep telling these when I've actually communicated with some of these artists, and I will tell them above anything, yes, Spotify is great to have out there, but you got to have physical media.
Yeah.
Because so many people won't pay attention to it unless you can get a 45, an LP, a cassette, a CD.
Just, yeah.
And
Even
that makes me crazy.
Offer, a collection of MP3s, even. If they can stick it on their computer, they can buy it. It doesn't have to be a CD, although CDs are even cheaper. But,
yeah.
Well,
that's what I mean. Some people won't even do that. I mean, some of the vinyl community are absolutely verboten to listen to streaming or, digital. No. So that's why I say, hard copy. That's why I'm glad Jacob Velasquez, who is an incredibly talented musician, actually has released a couple of CDs. And I'm like, I can push those. I can get those to people. I can say, you can buy this on Amazon. You can probably find it at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good stuff. And he's the older he's only 14. The older he gets, the more instrument he's adding to his repertoire. He's up to 9 instruments now, and it's really something.
I know. So you don't mind me hitting buttons, do you? Sorry.
No, go right ahead.
I did that to see if I could do it, and it worked. Oh. So did Justin Bieber get discovered on social media?
Yeah, YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Just like Grayson Chance, who hasn't done as well after he kind of disappeared after he appeared on Ellen a few times. But yeah, YouTube is good for all of them. So, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Little Nas X got his break on there, and so did I never could pronounce it. It's Tenacion, the rapper that was killed a few years ago. I think they all, and Juice WRLD, all got started on social media. So
that was back before TikTok. There's hope for others. Love the $5 per month they make on Spotify. Aha! There you go. Share the link. We'll get you more. For sure. So yeah, the whole chart thing just fascinated me. To get back to the point, started with, because I'm hey, the gang is talking about stuff. Yeah, talk about what the gang is talking about. It just fascinates me that since I don't have the stat brain, statistics, it just fascinates me no end. Tenacious C or tenacious.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a triple X in it somewhere. No, Angry Otter, I do not know that name, but I will check it out. Tyler Reed.
Check it out.
I mean, I've done so many artists, you should know. I don't know if I could run through all of them on the show, but I do. Yeah, the chart stuff, it's just a fascinating thing for me.
Triple X.
Yeah.
You can't even type that in YouTube, can you? Oh, yeah, it took it. I'll be down. There's so many things that YouTube won't.
Now you're going to trigger the bots, Jennifer. Thank you.
Yeah, really. Yeah, here we go. Here they come.
Yeah, I don't even have YouTube open. I probably should, but I just do it.
Band. Cool. I will check them out. Check it out. So yeah, I'm not the stat girl. I am barely the lyrics girl, but my brain only remembers so much. So
I don't know. You guys do a pretty good job at Johnny's auction every week. When you can. I mean, there's some of the stuff you don't know.
Beaker carries most of that weight, I think.
Oh, she gets some credit.
Beaker
gets some credit, but you do pretty good. I mean, you go. There's a few songs I've actually shared clips of with you that I thought were funny. Like when you went nuts on These Eyes by Guess Who, which was
easy though.
A riot. I mean, that was funny as hell.
We had a good time. That's fun.
Yeah.
I wish that StreamYard would not cut everybody out. You know how when somebody's talking, you get more than 3 or 4 people talking, and in StreamYard, people kind of fall all over each other, and it cuts the sound. If you could get everybody singing at the same time, that would be very cool.
That would be cool.
Debbie and Max are hysterical. Johnny's funny. Yeah, he's just great about it. So yeah, it's a fun time.
Yes, Jennifer. He was killed a couple of years ago.
We do wing it a lot. Yes, we do, for sure. There's a lot of winging going on.
Don't live streams always wing it though?
Sure.
I mean, the way you guys are great at what you do. So that's I would not be able to do the auctions like you do. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's easier to do when you have a good group of people, and we definitely have a good group of people, both in the chat and in the auction. So that helps a lot. You're going to have to start taking up auctioning because you keep buying multiple copies of certain songs from us.
Yes, I know. I don't think the strangely thing as I was putting them into Discogs this week, I noticed I had 4 copies listed for Let's Groove by Earth, Wind, and Fire, all from the same set. I'm like, there's no way in hell Don sent me 4 copies of that in one box. So I must have hit the thing 2 or 3 times by accident, but I got to go back through and make sure it's not like
I don't think I had that many copies of Let's Groove.
Yeah, I know.
And you wouldn't have gotten them all at the same time.
No, exactly. That's what I mean. Although, you know, it's always fun because I know there's going to be something fun to find in the 45 lots you have, and I will let them go if there's too many that I already have. But if there isn't, and there's something I really want, that's when I will bid higher than normal. Because I normally won't bid over a certain level, but if there's something I really want, and you'll know because I will continue to bid up to a point because I want that record.
That record. I know. It's like, oh, and I don't know you that well to know exactly what you're looking for.
No, I know.
So there's no way I can say, all right, with this lot, I'll just put them all over here, and then So
that's the problem with me. My taste is all over the road. Yeah,
you're a very good sport about it. My exes could mean 3 strikes. Yeah, But tell YouTube that. They're the ones that send us the bots. But Jennifer's good. She'll stomp all over them bots.
Yes, she will.
She will. Oh, wait a minute. On your channel, she's not blue.
Oh.
Do you know how to do that?
I
go
do.
To the 3 dots.
Get over there. I got to get over there first.
YouTube. Yeah, you need more moderators for sure. Now I just realized that. Thanks for bringing that up. I don't even know if that was. You can't hear. No, but she will shortly as soon as he figures out how to do it. You're on it. I can't do it for him.
Where do we go to for that?
So you go on YouTube feed or the YouTube chat. You hit the 3 dots on the right-hand side of her name.
Okay.
And it says, whoops, let's say scroll down. There we go. And it should say add moderator. That's the one you want to hit. Okay. You don't want to block her. That's for later.
No, I don't want to do that. Let me make sure the mute is on here as it comes up.
Oh yeah, you don't want to. That's a rookie mistake you don't want to make either. So you continue on with your love of charts, and you continue making charts for stuff, or have you gotten past that and you're not doing that anymore?
Well, actually,
because it's all, iHeartRadio now.
Actually, I have actually been talking about that at the very end in that crawl of the Pop Retro Countdown, which is my Sunday show. I am I'm working on and starting a new project, which I'm calling the Missing Years Project.
Okay.
What I'm planning to do is fill in everything between 93 and 98, and then 2000 and 2009, and then 2010 to 2018 and 2019 on. Eventually.
Very cool.
I'm hoping to get it done by 2025. It'll take me a while.
Very cool. You've got a hobby.
Hundreds of stuff to do. And that's why I bought these chart books, because it's easier to look at the actual physical chart. And that's what these are copies of each week's chart to get an idea of what was out there. And I have notebooks that I've kept listings of what I would put on the chart each week in the 90s. So that'll help the 90s part of it. But
very cool.
And I do it now too. So
call
me obsessed.
I think it's cool. This is the way your brain works. I'm happy with that. It makes you who you are and very interesting. Otherwise, everybody would be the same. And what the heck? We'd all be the same. That wouldn't be any fun at all. I'm kind of interested in knowing if people in the chat ever, do they look at the charts? Do they care about the charts? Do they just listen to the radio and not care? Or when they were younger, did they do things differently than they do now? I kind of like to see what they have to say as far as charts.
Yeah.
Different music types. Did you listen to multiple genres, or did you just listen to like rock or pop or country that kind of thing. Not to divide them up too much, but
I don't
I
know.
would love to see.
I was exposed personally to so many different things. My grandparents were diehard, hardcore, old school country fans, so they'd
Mhm.
be listening to the stations that played Hank Williams and all that
Mhm.
early stuff in the 50s, and I'm like, oh, and then they would find some more contemporary stuff later. But yeah,
Tracy Masons don't care anymore because most of there's trash.
yeah, I agree. Oh, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I know for a while when I started to kind of disassociate from radio, listening to the radio for musical whatever, and then I'd pull back in it eventually. But for a while there, you'd hear one song on the country channel, you'd hear another song on the pop channel, same song, different artists, different treatments, but it's the same song.
Yeah.
That drove me crazy.
Well, that was done quite frequently in the 70s and 80s. I mean,
Yeah.
you had "Knock Three Times" by Tony Orlando and Dawn, and then Billy Crash Craddock had a hit with it on the country chart, and it would be,
Yeah.
and even as recent as the 80s when Conway Twitty had a hit with the Pointer Sisters' "Slow Hand." And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, I'm sorry, Conway Twitty is doing Pointer Sisters now? That's really
Yes.
terrifying.
Yes. Yes, he is. That's when, yeah, I think that's the day the music died. There you go. Yeah.
Covers are always covers. Another story that
An American
are so
Bandstand was for honkies. So Soul Train was. Did you watch Soul Train at all?
I did every now and then.
I love Soul Train, but again, I grew up in a different area. My peer group when I was younger was listening to R&B, Motown, that kind of stuff, and we were definitely watching Soul Train.
Yeah.
So I did watch Bandstand, but I heard more music than I recognized on the other one.
Yeah.
And Soul
Yeah, me
Train.
too. I watched those two. I loved Solid Gold in the 80s. It was fun. And
Oh, the Solid Gold Dancers.
Midnights, huh?
The Solid Gold Dancers. That reminded me.
Yeah, and America's Top 10 with Casey Kasem. Of course, another chart show.
Yeah.
All right. Dee says, when I lived in Indiana, radio was great. Yes, I also have a Sirius subscription. We don't use it much. We usually use it on the TV when we're doing trivia or something. We'll just have music on in the background.
Metal is your jam. Well, yeah, metal is her jam. She works with metal too.
Metal's good too.
License plates, things. She makes things. But metal, yeah. And that was more the album oriented rock channel. But we didn't, I mean, and they kind of blended it together in our area. So it was like Grand Rapids had LAV, wasn't it, Mayor?
Yeah.
LAV. And a couple other channels that were, you would consider, I guess, the metal, not super hard metal, but more rock.
GRD was
rock. GRD was rock? LAV was definitely.
Yeah, it was more.
Yeah, GRD was.
Bands
I think GRD was more popular. Have harder stuff, but
you could get WLSAM on the radio.
You've heard it here first, kids.
Well, I used to live when I was a kid. When I lived in Ohio, I had my babysitter could pick up CKLW in the afternoons, and it's from Detroit, Windsor, and it of course was legendary, top 40 in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, and I loved it. And I used to listen to KFI Los Angeles when I lived in Washington. I could pick it up at night and listen to it every night in the early 80s, and even won a T-shirt for them on one of their call-ins. I actually got through.
So I don't know if you did this. I wish right now, because when I was younger, I used to tape things off the radio. You hope that the DJ wouldn't talk through the first part of the song just so you could get a decent copy of it.
Yeah.
I really wish that I had taped like hours of just radio.
Yeah.
The commercials, the whatever, the songs and everything to give. And I don't know if there's any archives out there that have that kind of stuff.
The songs? No, probably not.
Songs and radio programming. Just
you can get air checks from disc jockeys, but the songs are forbidden.
Nobody recorded that stuff, right? It was just too costly to do that. Why would they?
Yeah, though there you can go. There were a couple of channels. I don't know whether it's on iHeart or still on Sirius, but they had repeat channels of American Top 40, but that's about as close as you can get
Yeah.
to something like that. They had like AT40 the 60s, or AT40
Yeah.
the 70s, and AT40 the 80s running on one of them.
And our local channel does that on Sundays. Saturdays and Sundays they'll run American Top 40, and then they'll run, I think, Rick D's. So it's Casey Kasem and one day in Rick D's. So it's different decades, of course, but it would be cool. I really wish I had plunked my cassette recorder down there and taped just radio channel. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Really, it would have been interesting to do a study on compared to what you have now for programming. Just the songs they played.
Yeah, I never even did just a long form tape. I would record certain parts of American Top 40 or parts of the local radio. And I did because I wanted to be a DJ from the time I was about 10. I would record, the DJs and listen to their air checks and figure out how things were done. But it was a lot different time. And today, they're just not the same.
I agree. DC, the commercials alone would be amazing. That's what people, nowadays you got old VCR tapes. I've sold some where, people recorded movies on, I don't know, Turner Home Network or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'd get commercials from the 80s. People buy them just for that. They don't care about the movie.
There's a couple of great YouTube channels, or more than a couple, that have
commercials.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're great. And there's another couple or two or three that are devoted to TV themes, the openings from TV shows, and season by season.
Yeah,
I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. I would have loved to have done that. I didn't have the time.
Yeah, who knew, right? I know.
But I certainly spend time watching a lot of these. As you well know, I turned you on to Ben over at the archive several months ago, and some of the stuff he has just blows my mind. I love that channel.
He does some fun stuff.
Yeah.
He was 2 years before I realized that he has music videos. Oh yeah, it does. And you can create. I have created playlists in the past on YouTube, but then they get either the videos get canceled or pulled off or whatever.
Yeah,
and you get blank spots in your playlist, but. Yeah.
So here's another question for the chat. If you stream music, what service do you prefer to listen to? Do you listen to Sirius? Do you listen to Spotify? Do you listen to Tidal, Amazon
Pandora.
Music? Pandora. What are you listening to? Mary does Pandora.
Here's Pandora. Yeah.
Pandora is too limited for me. I want to be able to select the songs. And Pandora, you don't really.
Service, Pandora has contracts with record companies, and there's some that you just can't, some catalogs you can't get.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they all are, but it does fall that way. So
I know Spotify is the same thing. That's when I did my number ones playlist on Spotify. It's got gaps in it, and I filled in the gaps with a YouTube playlist. So I have all of the number ones that have been listed on my classic number ones list on there, even though sometimes they're like, wow.
Wait a minute. Hee Haw? I'm looking at DC's here. Hee Haw was played in my house as a kid. I remember hoping someone decent would be on it.
Yeah. Oh, Kim makes fun of me because I loved Hee Haw when I was a kid. I loved it. My grandmother never missed it.
So like where oh where are you tonight? That kind of Hee Haw?
Where oh where are you tonight? Why did you
leave me here all alone? I searched the world over and I thought I found true love. You met another and
you were gone. Oh God, Lord. And we actually leave that on the internet now, Don. You realize that?
Yes, it's been immortalized on. Yep. There you go. Thank you, DC. Appreciate it.
Oh my God.
Stupid crap that's stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Didn't need it, couldn't use it, couldn't make money at it, but no, there it is. It's stuck in there and it's not leaving.
That's right. This is what's called nostalgia. Or I guess now, if you're depending on where you're doing it, now it's called vintage or whatever.
Yeah,
it's mental ephemera.
It's trauma, mental ephemera. There you go. It's trauma, my friend.
Well, it's just like I suppose. Dee, where did you grow up? Did you grow up in a country centric area, or was it just your family? Or I'm just curious because that's an interesting. Because I don't hear very many people bring up Hee Haw, and I remember watching it,
Oh,
and when I was a kid, and
it was a thing. I mean, first of all, it was comedy, but also
yeah,
musical. So, I mean, I remember Hee Haw, and I never really wanted to watch it. I don't know who was
Lawrence
watching
Welk, yeah, my grandmother loved
Welk.
Lawrence Welk too, and
Carol
yeah,
Burnett show was more
everybody had
my
their favorites.
it was more
Yeah,
the Carol Burnett.
Kim loved Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
I grew up watching the Dean Martin show because mom loved him. So, oh, sorry. I'm sorry, MKT. Was that you? I thought
What?
that was D. It said that about Hee Haw.
Oh,
Well, totally mistaken. I'm trying to keep all these comments and keep going crazy. Jennifer, thank you for posting all those links for everybody.
you rock, Jennifer. She rocks.
And
You see, you make her blue, and she
yeah,
does wonderful things for you. She's a
she
wonderful
does.
soul. She is. Even Mary's not blue, Jennifer. So you got one up on Mary right now.
How did that happen?
My wife over here going, "Oh crap!"
Yep.
Illinois till 10. Oh, okay.
It's just like me because I've been all over the country. I grew up my first 6 years in Washington, my second 6 years in Ohio, my third 6 years in Washington, the next 10 years in Ohio, and then I've been in Boston since I was 30. So
Hee Haw, Lawrence Welk. Yeah, I remember Lawrence Welk. Hee Haw.
3 or 4 channels. Well, back in my day, we only had 3 or 4 channels. We didn't have 500 channels with nothing on.
We had 3 channels, and one of
I'm sorry,
4
Chris.
channels, and one was public. One was PBS.
Yeah.
Seriously, you had 3. So we had ABC, NBC, and CBS. That's it.
Yeah, PBS. And if you were lucky, you maybe had 1 or 2 independents. We never were. So
there was no. I mean, we grew up in a town where they didn't really have a local cable channel or whatever they used to do. Local
I didn't get
programming.
cable until 1981 when we moved to Ohio. I never had it in Washington, and when I lived in Ohio when I was a kid, our PBS station was on UHF, so we could. It was like a bitch to tile in.
Yes, you needed a coat hanger, some tinfoil, and your little brother to stand there and touch it. So,
thankfully, we were lucky because we lived close enough to where the giant transmitter on Horns Hill was, so it came in crystal clear if you could get the station just right. And I had it set perfectly because I never missed my Zoom.
Zoom. That's right. I forgot about Zoom. That was a thing. That was a big thing. When did they stop making Zoom?
Which time?
Oh, they did, and there was a resurgence of Zoom.
There was Zoom was on originally from 72 to 77 and reruns till 79, and then it was redone from 1994 to 2000. Brand new version. Yeah.
All right, I would be where the original group watched that, and
yeah,
I
the 50th anniversary just passed by. So
I don't hate me. I thought they were kind of dorky. That's just me. But I was older than you.
You
in
were.
72, I was 12.
Yeah. Well, that was
You were
around the
12
same
years
age
old.
the kids on the show were. So
Yeah, so it went a little dorky for me. But you know, Captain Kangaroo on the other hand, that was my jam. But anyway,
you and Kim, I swear.
No, I think they're listing their 17 and 29. I'm not sure what that was. Was that a channel? No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that could be the 2 UHF channels that she probably had.
Oh yeah.
Donnie Marie, Sunny Chair, yeah, TV variety shows, musical shows. You don't see those around much anymore either.
No. Well, Tony Orlando and Dawn had one.
Yeah.
And of course, you watch whatever Carol Burnett had on. She usually had a musical guest of some kind.
Well, you know what killed them off, right?
Johnny Carson. What?
You know what killed the variety? Everybody says, oh, no, it was just changing times. No, it was one thing. CBS giving Starland Vocal Band their own variety show. I love Starland Vocal Band. You know that. I did them on Influencers. They are an awesome band. But they were not right for television.
Was it Afternoon Delight that torched it for everybody? Is that what you're saying?
I think Pink Lady and Jeff killed it off permanently. So there you go.
It's like, oh man, I wondered who did it. It was them. Okay.
Have you ever seen those, Dawn?
No.
The Pink Lady shows?
Yeah.
Oh God, they're on DVD. You should find if you ever come across one when you're buying lots of DVDs. I want it.
Okay.
I wasn't able to find it, and I mean,
You're on my list.
they
Okay.
showed them on a thing on an old now defunct cable network called Trio in the mid 2000s.
Good
They
Lord.
had a weekend called Brilliant but Canceled, and they showed My Mother the Car, Pink Lady, and Jeff. A Debbie Does Dallas edited for television, which means there was enough to film a half hour, and
Debbie Does Dallas edited for television.
no sex, no anything. It was all the stuff that wasn't sex, and it barely made it into a half hour. And it was Kim has never forgiven me for making her sit through those Pink Lady shows.
I'm interested. All the big stars would have variety specials.
Yep, and some not so big stars.
Chris. Yeah, not so big stars. Chris says young parents would play the Led Zeppelin, Ice. That's okay. Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix albums, and Into the Osmonds. Yeah, the Osmonds. That was another variety show.
That's great, Chris. The fact that your parents were playing the music that you would end up loving over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did the same thing, but my mom was more into. She was older, so it was like, a little bit older music. But today's kids pretty much listen to what their parents listen to. A lot of times, a lot of the vinyl community kids,
Really?
particularly. Carson and Jack at Jack's Tracks and Dylan over at the Record Spinner. I think they got into what they love, the metal and heavy metal stuff that probably their dads and moms were listening to. And that's a great thing. It all depends. I grew up gravitated toward pop because that's the way my mom leaned.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit of country because that's the way my grandparents leaned. But,
so your mom did she buy physical media or did she just listen to it on the radio?
No, she listened. She bought a few.
So do you think it's the fact that the physical media is in the house that the kids find it, or,
it could be,
or fondly remember it and go back and find it?
Yeah.
So what's that to say about people who do a lot of streaming now and don't keep physical media anymore?
Yeah. What does that say?
Right? That's a good question.
Hey, pull up this channel. I'll send you a link to the Spotify. Yeah.
The other thing is, what if it's not available anymore because the license ran out?
Yeah.
You don't get to hear it.
Well, then half the stuff that I have on, half the stuff in this album wall, it's out of print. You're not going to be able to find it now. Unless you dig through. I mean, you probably can if you go through Discogs, and some of it would probably be. I mean, I can say with pretty good certainty that I could probably pick up a pristine, like new copy of Ricky Seagull and the Seagulls for under $1 on Discogs.
What should you?
No, I don't need it. I got the original. Why would I buy the other one?
It's right, exactly. You can find full album downloads on YouTube. Things.
Yeah, I have.
I have in the past. I'm like, I don't know that album. Let me go find it, and usually I can find it on YouTube and play it.
Yeah.
Now, if they decide to take it down and make a claim against it, that's another thing. But it's nice to be able to do that.
YouTube is when I first started TKR briefly in 2018, I was getting hits like you wouldn't believe, and it made me, that's why I didn't. The pop retro countdown didn't work back then because I would load it and immediately I would get like 10 hits on it. Now I haven't had a problem with a single song off those yet. When I do, I'll just pop in a copyright message. But that was back then. It pissed me off. Now more than anything, the record labels realize, hey, we can make money from this. We'll let him play it, which is fine. I'm not looking to monetize it. I want to get the music out there.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the cool thing. But and then a lot of people just taking the time to set a camera in front of their turntable and play a whole record and edit it in. And it's just like, that's great. You're not getting, of course, the quality of sound you would if you had the record there in front of you.
No,
but it's still cool. It's still a cool thing.
Yeah, that was a memorable special, and revitalized Michael's career even further because Off the Wall had started it, and that moonwalk and the release of Thriller just exploded the guy to the point where you couldn't get away from him for years.
Oh, Stacey May comment. Listen to everything including rap. That is cool though to have a diverse, eclectic taste in music. It for me, a lot of it is what mood I'm in,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, there is country, although I'm not a fan of country. There is country that I will listen to and play.
Oh yeah, me too.
For a lot of different reasons. Some of it's because back in the day I was playing it, had to play it, so it kind of grew on me. But there's songs that made either they crossed over or my
Yeah.
parents listened to, and I didn't even realize it was country music. And who knew?
Yeah.
So
I know. I'm just the same way. I got into a few. I've never been a huge rap or hip hop fan, but there are certain things I love. I'm a huge fan of DC Talk. I love them. Loved them from the beginning. I like Eminem. I've got 2 or 3 of his CDs. Some of that, and normally I wouldn't gravitate that way. From the way that you listen to what I do with the pop music, you wouldn't think I'd care for it at all. Same for country. While I don't listen to country, I got Garth Brooks. I got Dolly Parton. I got, the stuff that was a pop hit too. I mean, I love those. It's just how it is. Everybody's got different tastes and going to listen to different stuff. So, of your collection, what do you have the most of? What genre?
What genre?
Because I know you love ELO and I know you love Alan Parsons.
Yeah. So are those? Would you consider those pop, or would you consider those prog rock, or what would you call that? Because I just think of everything as pop, and that's pretty much where I fall.
Yeah, Alan Parsons and ELO are prog rock leaning pop.
Right.
So just like the pop metal too.
So I like all that. I like Nico, so I guess that would be considered pop as well.
Could not agree more, D.
She does. So some metal, and it depends. I have there's a strange part of my brain that likes Tool.
Okay, that took you an entirely new light.
Thank you. Not the fabric, the band. Not Stanley, but yeah. And I have there's a smidgen in my head that likes Marilyn Manson, although I know I shouldn't because he's an asshole.
Yeah, but his cover of Golden Years is good.
Yeah. Personal
Beautiful
Jesus.
People's not bad.
Beautiful People's not bad. Personal Jesus.
Mostly I don't really care for him much.
I know. What can I say?
Yeah.
And there's some rap I like, so it depends. So I'm all over the board, but most of my vinyl collection, LP wise, is pop and adult contemporary.
Yeah.
And my 45 collection, my singles collection, is mostly Motown, R&B, and probably disco and pop, kind of in that order.
Yeah, I have a lot. I have
of oldie stuff.
I have a ton of disco. I grew up in the disco era, so in my town, I grew up in a small, tiny town outside of Spokane. 90% of the kids were listening to Kiss and Ted Nugent, and I was listening to the Carpenters, ABBA, Barry Manilow, Leif Garrett, and disco. So I was the only disco fan in town practically. So it was like they wanted a disco song. Hey, can we borrow that? No.
Yeah, no, get away from me.
Screw you. I did it.
I like Metallica. I like Rush. I like which we just got a Rush album we picked up the other day, and Mary pointed it out to me. She's like, "Here, look, you don't have this album." I don't. You're right. Let's get it. I'll buy it. What the heck? And it was on white vinyl, which is weird. I didn't even know it was on white vinyl. Didn't say anything. It didn't have a sticker on it. Anyway, Def Leppard is your band of choice when it comes to
metal. Yeah,
rock, metal.
I love that. Def Leppard is pop metal for the most part, and I love them. Yeah.
So I'm just and Aldo Nova. We've talked about that. I like Aldo.
Love Aldo Nova. Yep. Yeah. A lot of the pop stuff, the pop glam stuff from the 80s, I like. I'm not terribly fond of Motley Crue, but the rest of them I like a lot. So
other hair bands, Cinderella.
Hair bands, yeah, I love hair bands.
Yeah.
That's my kind of pop metal.
Pop puppy metal. New great music over the years. I'm just kind of reading the chat here real quick. Sorry. Linkin Park is underrated for sure.
Absolutely.
Run DMC and Aerosmith's Walk This Way. That was a cool crossover. I
Stacy,
like
did you ever listen to Chester's side band Dead by Sunrise? Loved them, and his suicide was such a tragedy, and I mean, we lost Linkin Park, we lost Dead by Sunrise with him, and they were both great bands. I mean, Linkin Park could irritate me sometimes. I didn't really always like the stuff, but most of them I did.
Mm-hmm.
And they were great. Yeah, good. There you go.
Oh, and then let's not forget the Moody Blues.
Yeah, Moody Blues. That's definitely prog rock. Yeah.
Yeah, that I got a love for Moody Blues from my my aunt. She was into it back in the day, and it just kind of grew on me. So, but
I like their stuff from the 70s and 80s, but I actually like Justin Hayward better as a solo performer. That comes from his turn as in Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds, Forever Autumn. Love that song. Became a huge fan of his because of that.
I don't think I have that. I really need to get that. I'll have to get it. Linkin Park, daughter's all-time favorite band. Linkin Park was good. And of course, let us not forget, Disco Will Never Die. There you go.
No, Disco will never die. The disco icons, unfortunately, a lot of them have passed on. Donna Summer hasn't been with us for about 10 years, and Donna Summer could do no wrong from me. I loved that woman so much. And you know, all the great ones from the 70s were Village People and Gloria Gaynor, Peaches and Herb. I could listen to them all the time.
Taste of honey. But anyway, let's go here.
Okay, break down how to get into the contest. Okay,
that's a good question. I was going to say you got something coming up, and I'm racking my brain.
I have a contest running right now. It's push to 200 subscribers, and you can enter it up through whatever, I think August 13th or whatever it is. I just need you to go on. You have to be a subscriber to the channel. You have to do a video, and on the video you need to show 10 items you own, albums, CDs, cassettes, 45s, that you think you are probably the only person that that has them. These are the like the obscuria of the contest. It's set based around my daily obscuria show. Find the things that nobody else.
Before I met you, it would have been a lot easier. But yeah.
Hey,
I know you,
especially since you started supplying me with 45s that I'd never heard of. So now I have a ton of stuff.
Now I know you have everything I have. Yeah, or mostly.
Got good prizes coming up for it though, and that'll run through the next month or so.
So it's in it. You'd rather not be all one format, like not all 45s or not all. LPs.
Right, you can do 10. It has to be 10. You can do 5 albums, 5 CDs, 5 singles, 4 CDs, and 6 singles. Just keep it to 2 formats is all I ask, and 10 total.
And you want a video of it?
Yep.
So I mean, they can be as creative as they want to, as far as showing their face or not showing their face or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Like hand modeling, if you want. You don't have to be on camera. Okay.
No, you wouldn't have to be on camera, because I know several people online that don't do camera fit, but they could probably do great entries and I'm pretty sure a couple of them will probably enter. So,
Stacy, maybe that's the problem I'm having too. I'm like, I can think of a couple, but I don't know if I got 10. But I'll break out the obscure cassette copy of God Only Knows What if I have to, I suppose. Why not?
It's just like what you think of as obscure. It may not really be obscure, but what you think might be the obscurest ones in your collection.
I got a few of mine. Oh, my wife is looking at me like,
does it have to be different artist?
No, it doesn't have to be different artists. It could be the same artist.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be weird if it was all different. Yeah. How unique is an artist going to get? Yeah.
It would be.
I have the only blue copy of this album, from this artist. Yeah. Whatever. But I guess I'll give it a shot. Let's give it a shot, kids. I think the prizes what are the prizes?
I have two runner-up prizes of $25 gift cards, either from Amazon or Visa, whichever you want, wherever you are. Top prize, $50 gift card, a TKR t-shirt, and a few little other goodies thrown in.
Merch. I love
Yeah.
merch. Your shirts come in super extra large, like Omar the tent maker's wife's size.
Yes.
Good.
I needed super extra large, so yes, they
Get 'em
do.
in. Complaints. Wait, what was this? Complaints count? What? No.
Capitulations count.
Oh, okay. I thought you said complaints.
Compilations count. Yeah,
I read it
sure.
wrong.
A K-Tel,
Yeah.
you mean? Like a K-Tel album that's obscure? Sure. Something like that would be great.
Haha. There's another one.
I'm willing to look at anything.
Cool. So if I've got the most extensive collection of 101 strings, that would be a thing to bring to the table, right? Okay, I'm in. Well, on that note,
Yeah,
you
we
wanna-
better head out of here. We're running over our time here.
we're running over. Thanks, guys.
Not too bad, but yeah.
You wanna share your wealth of information with the people.
Yeah, I have my channel is TKR Video Central. My full website is thekirklandreport.com. You can come over there and over to. I have a lot more on kirklandreport.com, but just my video channel has this show every other week, and then every other week it's on Dawn's channel. And then I have influencers on Tuesday, rank this on Thursday, Kirkland Report on Saturday, and the Retro Pop Countdown on Sunday, and Daily Obscuria Monday through Friday at 11.
Which is also cool. Question in the chat real quick is how do they send you the video?
No, you
You
post it on
email?
on YouTube on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. So that's how you would do it. Just post it on your channel and send him the link, and
Yep.
he's got the video. Ta-da! So you go. So yeah, and in 2 weeks we'll be back here Monday at 6 on our channel, which is Two Hip Chicks, and we will be doing this again. So I would love you guys to put either in the chat, but probably down in the comments of this video when it posts, what you'd like to talk about, what questions you have
Yep.
about music, you know, formats. I don't know, genres, formats, rating records, figuring out how to clean them or whatever questions you have regarding music and the world that surrounds it. Please, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah,
So-
your ideas or what
Yeah,
help drive the
very
show.
And other than that, Mary and I will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays on our channel with Chick Chat at noon Eastern time. Please come on over and check that out. We love to have new faces in, and we talk about many things, sometimes even music. Most of the time, it's just about everything else but music. But hey, that happens too. And we land on food a lot, which I'm not. But it's just a way to give your brain a break from your day. And then we're doing Monday. We're doing the Death Pile Clearance, where we sell stuff on Mel and Dino's channel.
Just stuff, huh?
Stuff. And on Wednesday we sell stuff at 2:00 on Johnny Return of Cajun Roots Resellers channel.
And so
that's where
don't forget not to miss that, so you don't miss the concerts.
The sing along, yes, everybody sing along to the 45 piles. So we would love to see you there as well. Thank you, TC, for having me today.
No problem. That's what
Everybody-
we do.
Yeah, we do back and forth. Everybody, thank you. We'll see you in a fortnight. Otherwise, we'll see you on the YouTubes. Thank you again.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you soon. Ciao,
Bye-bye.
baby.